Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 70th online meeting of the ICT Bacto for 2025. Today is September 24, 2025. We'd like to acknowledge the presence of the following DICT Bacto members: the professional member and user, Director Antonio Edward Padre. Good afternoon, Director.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and everyone.
Thank you po. The professional member, Director Carlo Paulo Morcia. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you po. The regular member, Director Dennis Morales. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Thank you po. And the Vice Chairperson, Director John Vincent Manuel Gaudan. Good afternoon, sir. And this meeting is being presided by the Chairperson, Assistant Secretary Luis Miguel Planas. With the majority of the BAC members present, the BAC Secretariat confirms the presence of a quorum. Please be reminded that this meeting will be recorded for documentation purposes. Shown on the screen is our agenda for today's meeting. We have two agenda for today. First is the establishment of wireless broadband network rebid with an approved budget for the contract of 49,900,000 pesos. The end user is the National Broadband Program with Director Antonio Edward Padre. And the status for this is the pre-bid conference and the target action for bid clarifications and issuance of supplemental bid bulletin, if any. Second agenda is for the procurement of one-year subscription to research reference materials, journals, and tools for use in research and benchmarking on ICT. The approved budget for the contract is 3 million. The end user is the Policy Research and Analysis Division, National ICT Planning Policy and Standards Bureau, with Mr. Ariel P. Gonzalez Jr. Status is for the negotiation procurement under Section 53.6 under Scientific, Scholarly, or Artistic Work, Exclusive Technology, and Media Services. The target action is for discussion of the technical requirements and any other matter relevant to the deliverables reflected in the request for quotation, if any, and discussion of the financial proposal. May we request for the approval of the agenda, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, motion to approve the agenda as presented. I so move, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Moved and seconded. The objections, hearing none. Approving the agenda as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and to the BAC members. Mr. Chair, may we respectfully request to admit the prospective bidders, technical working group, other end-user representatives who are in the waiting room. And for the information of everyone, we have 4 prospective bidders who are registered in today's pre-bid conference. We have the following: PLDT Incorporated, Neotech Asia Distribution Incorporated, One Commerce International Corporation, and Sungil Philippines Corporation. Again, good afternoon, everyone. We would like to acknowledge the presence of the other representatives of the end-user unit, TWG members, and the prospective bidders who are present in today's meeting. To reiterate, please be informed that this proceeding is being recorded for documentation purposes and to promote transparency in compliance with Section 38 of Republic Act Number 12009. And this will be uploaded in our official YouTube channel. With your permission, Mr. Chair, we would like to request the prospective bidders to kindly click the raise hand button. Once acknowledged, please state your full name and the company you are representing for proper identification.
Please do.
Representatives po from PLDT, if any. How about for representatives from Neotech Asia Distribution Incorporated? Yes, Mr. Gaba, you are acknowledged po.
Hi, ma'am. Stephen Neligabay po from Neotech.
Thank you, sir. Any other po from Neotech? How about po from One Commerce International Corporation po?
Hi, Arthur Saunar from One Commerce.
Thank you, Mr. Sonar.
From One Commerce po.
Thank you, sir.
Lawrence Caban po from One Commerce.
Thank you, sir. How about po from Sungil Philippines Corporation? Mr. Chair, I think that's all po from the prospective bidders. With the permission of the chairperson, we will now proceed with the presentation of the project of the establishment of wireless broadband network rebid, to be presented by Ms. Jenny Baladad, to be followed by the presentation or discussion of the end user of the technical specifications of the project.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the private conference of the project establishment of wireless broadband network with reference number DICT BAC 2025-094 rebid with an approved budget of 49,900,000 pesos. Please be informed that the invitation to bid for the project was posted on September 17, 2025 on the PhilJEPS and the ICT websites, e-procurement website, and the ICT bulletin board. Invitation to observers for the private conference were sent on September 19, 2025 to the following: Commission on Audit, Chief Information Officers Forum Foundation Incorporated, Institute of Electronics Engineers of the Philippines Incorporated, and Philippine Computer Society. The provisional member and user representative for the DICT BAC 2 for this project is Director Antonio Edward E. Padre. The technical working group is composed of the following: headed by Mr. Marlon O. Biagtan. The members are Mr. Nelson G. Mamuya, Ms. Venus M. Rivera, Ms. Giselle P. Nakita, and Mr. Joren A. Cerro. As mentioned earlier, the prospective bidders which registered for today's private conference are PLDT Incorporated, Neotech Asia Distribution Incorporated, One Commerce International Corporation, and Sungil Philippines Corporation. For the agenda, we have project details, house rules, schedule of activities, instruction to bidders, checklist of technical and financial documents, 2 envelope system and proper sealing and markings, bid data sheet, technical specifications, forms, post-qualification documents, and the reminders to bidders. For the house rules, everyone is encouraged to make clarifications, identify your name and company before raising a question. And please limit your questions to details of the procurement at hand. For the instruction to bidders, for the bidding requirements, the bidding for the project shall be governed by all the provisions of RA 12009. Any amendments made to the IRR and other GPVB issuances shall be applicable only to the ongoing posting, advertisement, or IB by the BAC through the issuance of a supplemental or bid bulletin. The bidder, with the act of submitting its bid, shall be deemed to have verified and accepted the general requirements of this project, including other factors that may affect the cost, duration, and execution or implementation of the contract, project, or work, and examine all instructions, forms, terms, and project requirements in the bidding documents. The procuring entity, as well as the bidders and suppliers, shall observe the highest standard of ethics during the procurement and execution of the contract. They, or through an agent, shall not engage in corrupt, fraudulent, collusive, coercive, and obstructive practices defined under RA 12009 or other integrity violations in competing for the project. For the eligible bidders, only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated. Foreign ownership, limited to those allowed under the rules, may participate in this project. Pursuant to Section 52.4.1.3 of the IRR of RA 12009, the bidder shall have an SLCC that is at least one contract similar to the project, the value of which adjusted to the current prices using the PSA CPI and must be equivalent to. The bidder must have completed within the period specified in the BDS an SLCC that is one contract similar to the contract to be bid and whose value adjusted to current prices using the Philippine Statistics Authority Consumer Price Indices must be at least 50% of the ABC. The bidder shall comply with the eligibility criteria under Section 52.4 of the IRR of RA 12009. Subcontracting is not allowed for this project. Payment of the contract price shall be made in Philippine peso. For the bid price, use the proper form for goods offered from within the Philippines or goods offered from abroad in indicating price schedule. For the bid security, all bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in ITB Clause 14. Each bidder shall submit one original and 2 copies of the required documents. Again, each bidder shall submit one original and 2 copies of the required documents. For the 2 envelope system and proper sealing and markings, the submission must be... Bidders must submit a bid. Inside the bid is a technical component and financial component envelopes. Inside the technical component envelopes are 3 separate envelopes labeled technical component original, duplicate, and triplicate copy. And on the financial component envelope, labeled financial component original, duplicate, and triplicate copy. For the markings, the envelope must be addressed to Department of Information and Communications Technology from name of bidder in capital letters, address bidder in capital letters, project establishment of wireless broadband network with reference number DICT BAC 2025-094 rebid, and in capital letters indicate the phrase do not open before October 8, 2025, 1:30 p.m. For the deadline of submission of bids is on October 8, 2025 at 12 noon, and the opening of bids shall be October 8, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon. For the checklist of technical and financial documents, for the technical component envelope, this must contain the legal documents: A, valid Philips registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages, in accordance with Section 20.2.9.1 of the IRR of RA 12009. Please note, pursuant to Section 20.2.9.1 of the IRR of RA 12009, All Class A eligibility documents indicated in Annex A of the PhilJEPS registration certificate platinum membership must be current, valid, and updated at the time of bid submission. The failure by the prospective bidder to update its certificate with the current and updated Class A eligibility document shall result in the automatic suspension of the validity of its certificate until such time that all of the expired Class A eligibility documents has been updated. Thus, prospective bidders are required to update their PhilJEPS registration certificates prior to the submission of their bids. Again, prospective bidders are required to update their PhilJEPS registration certificates prior to the submission of their bids. Please also note that as per PS Advisory 2025-015, suspension of certificate of PhilJEPS registration platinum membership of corporations for non-compliance with uploading of their GIS and BOI. This is to advise the certificate of PhilJEPS registration platinum membership of merchant corporations that did not submit the latest general information sheet reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission shall be suspended. The imposition of suspension comes after the issuance of the PS Advisory Number 2025-007, published on June 30, 2025, which required corporations to submit their latest GIS with BOI. All corporate entities with existing platinum membership were likewise required to update their eligibility documents in the Government of the Philippines Official Merchant Registry, or the GOP-OMR. Next document is the statement of a prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contract, including contract awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. There is no attachment required for this document. Next requirement is the statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, or the SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid except under conditions provided for in sections 15.2.4.1.3 of the IRR of RA 12009 within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents. For the attachment, any of the following document must be submitted together with the statement of single largest completed contract: end user's acceptance, official receipt, sales invoice for the contract. Next requirement is the original copy of the bid security. If in the form of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. Please note, bidders who opt to submit a bid securing declaration as a form of bid security are required to use the bid securing declaration form in the attached bidding documents. Next requirement is a schedule of requirements. Next is the conformity with the technical specification, which may include production, delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and/or after-sales parts if applicable. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement (OSS) and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. For the financial documents under technical component envelope, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, NFCC, or a committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation. For the Class B documents, if applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners is stating that they will enter into and abide with the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. For the other documentary requirements, if applicable, for foreign bidders claiming by reason of their country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, a certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in government procurement activities for the same item or product. For the financial component envelope, this must consist of or contain of original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and original of duly signed and accomplished price schedule. For the other documentary requirements as applicable, a certification from the DTI if the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. Reminding bidders to kindly break down all the cost of taxes pursuant to Section 61.2.2 of the IRR of RA 12009 to wit, all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes such as, but not limited to, value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties, which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be the basis for bid evaluation and comparison. For the bid data sheet, a contract similar to the project shall be establishment of wireless broadband network, connectivity or broadband network with support facilities. This must be completed within the last 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. For the bid security, this shall be in the form of a bid security declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. If it is in the form of cash, cashier's, manager's check, bank draft, guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit and surety bond, the amount shall be 2,495,000 pesos. For the post-qualification documents, within a non-extendable period of 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the bank that it submitted the lowest calculated bid, the bidder shall submit its latest income and business tax returns filed and paid through the BIR electronic filing and payment system or the EFS and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the BDS. For the forms, these forms are attached on the posted bidding documents, the schedule of requirements, technical specifications, bid form, price schedules for goods offered from abroad, price schedule for goods offered from within the Philippines, bid securing declaration, and the omnibus warrant statement. Bidders are highly encouraged to use the templates forms provided to minimize errors or omissions in the form submitted. However, failure to use said templates or forms is not a ground for disqualification, provided that the form submitted includes all the mandatory provisions required in the RA 12009 and its IRR as identified in Clause 2 of the required form section of the bidding documents. Again, failure to use said templates or forms is not a ground for disqualification, provided that the form submitted includes all the mandatory provisions required in the RA 12009 and its IRR as identified in Clause 2 of the required form section of the bidding documents. These are the following mandatory provisions for the bid form. The mandatory provisions are the bid prices in figures and in words, and the bid price shall include the cost of all taxes, such as, but not limited to, value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties, which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the price schedule or detailed estimates. For the price schedule, the mandatory provisions are: prices indicated in the price schedule shall be entered separately in the following manner. For goods offered from within the PS country, the price of the goods quoted EXW, X-Works, X-Factory, X-Warehouse, X-Showroom, or off the shelf as applicable. The cost of all sales and other taxes already paid or payable. The cost of transportation, insurance, and other costs incidental to delivery of the goods to their final destination. And the price of other incidental services, if any. For goods offered from abroad, the price of the goods shall be quoted delivered duty paid, the place of destination in the Philippines. The price of other incidental services, if any, and for services, based on the form which may be prescribed by the PE in accordance with existing laws, rules, and regulations. For the bid securing declaration, Bidder shall enter into contract with the PA and furnish the required performance security within 10 calendar days from receipt of the notice of award, and bidder accepts that it shall be automatically disqualified from bidding for any procurement contract with any PE or a period of 2 years upon receipt of the blacklisting order, and it will pay the applicable fine provided under the guidelines on the use of bid securing declaration within 15 days from receipt of the written demand by the PE for the commission of acts resulting to the enforcement of the bid securing declaration under the pertinent provisions of the RA number 12009 and its IRR. For the omnibus form statement, the mandatory provisions are the signatory is the duly authorized representative of the bidder and granted full power and authority to do, execute, and perform any and all act necessary to participate, submit the bid, and to sign and execute the ensuing contract accompanied by relevant notarized document. Bidder is not blacklisted or barred from bidding by the government of the Philippines or any of its agencies, offices, corporations, or local government units, including foreign government, foreign or international financing institution whose blacklisting rules have been recognized by the GPPB, by itself or by relation, membership, association, affiliation, or controlling interest with another blacklisted person or entity as defined and provided for in the Uniform Guidelines on Blacklisting. Each of the documents submitted in satisfaction of the bidding requirement is an authentic copy of the original, complete, and all statements and information provided therein are true and correct. Bidder authorizes the HOOP or his/her duly authorized representatives to verify all the documents submitted. Bidder complies with the disclosure provision under Section 81 of the IRR of RA 12009 in relation to other provisions of RA number 3019. Bidder complies with existing labor laws and standards. Bidder complies with the responsibilities of a prospective or eligible bidder provided in the PPDs. Bidder did not give or pay directly or indirectly any commission, amount, fee, or any form of consideration, pecuniary or otherwise, to any person or official, personnel, or representative of the government in relation to any procurement project or activity, and in case advance payment was made or given, failure to perform or deliver any of the obligations and undertakings in the contract shall be sufficient grounds to constitute criminal liability for swindling, estafa, or the commission of fraud with unfaithfulness or abuse of confidence through misappropriating or converting any payment received by a person or entity under an obligation involving the duty to deliver certain goods or services to the prejudice of the public and the government of the Philippines pursuant to Article 315 of Act Number 3815 Series 1930 as amended. Or the revised penal code. For the other required forms on the bid security, aside from the bid security declaration, performance security, and warranty security, the mandatory provisions are: security is posted in favor of the PE, amount of the security, which is denominated in Philippine pesos, which should not be less than the required percentage as follows. For bid security, based on the ABC to be bid. For performance security, based on the total contract price. And for the warranty security, it is based on the required percentage of the progress payment or total contract price. Validity period, which should be corresponding to the time frame provided in RA number 12009 and its IRR. Respective obligation or undertaking that is guaranteed relative to the faithful performance of the responsibilities stated in the relevant provisions of RA 12009 and its IRR, and for surety bonds, it shall be callable upon demand, issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security. For the statement of the bidder of all its ongoing government and private contract, including contract awarded but not yet started, the following mandatory provisions are: names of outstanding contract with other contracting party, PA or private company allowed by the rules, contract date, period, and amount or value, and for goods, kinds of goods, and dates of delivery. For the statement of the bidder's SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, the mandatory provisions are the name of the completed contract with contract date, period, and amount which should correspond to the required percentage of the ABC to be bid. The value is adjusted to the current prices using the Philippine Statistics Authority consumer price indices when necessary. For goods, the relevant period or delivery date when the said SLCC was completed, end user's acceptance or official receipt or sales invoice issued for the contract if completed, and definition or description of the similar project or major categories of work. Owner certificate of acceptance or CPS rating accompanying the statement of the bidder's SLCC. For owner certificate of acceptance, the provisions are the name of project owner that issued the certificate, name of contractor or the constructor, name of contract and contract duration. For CPS rating, a final rating of at least satisfactory. For contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. For the bidder's computation of NFCC or committed line of credit, CLC, for goods. For NFCC computation, the mandatory provisions are the ABC to be bid, amount or value of bidder's current asset based on audited financial statement, amount or value of bidder's current liabilities based on AFS, and amount or value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects under ongoing contract, including awarded contract yet to be started, coinciding with the contract to be bid. For CLC, ABC to be bid, amount which should be at least equal to 10% of the ABC, and the name of the issuing foreign universal or commercial bank as confirmed or authenticated by a local universal or commercial bank. Joint venture agreement or notarized statement as forming JV for goods. If a JVA is already in existence, the content shall include the responsibility of each of the JV partners or its contribution to the JV, the contents of the notarized statements from of the JVA in the event that the bid is successful, and failure to enter into JVA in the event of a contract award shall be a ground for bid disqualification and subsequent forfeiture of the bid security. As to the certification as to reciprocity to foreign bidders for goods, foreign bidders claiming eligibility based on its country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinas shall submit a certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in their government procurement activities for the same item or product. Shown on the screen is the forms provided for in the bidding documents for the establishment of wireless broadband network. Bid securing declaration. Price schedule for goods offered from within the Philippines. Price schedule for goods offered from abroad. Bid form. Omnibus form statement. Schedule of requirements for the project. And for the reminders to bidders, the clock at the DICT lobby using the Philippine Standard Time is the official reference time during submission and receipt of bids. A member of the BAC Secretariat will be assigned to receive the bid documents at the DICT lobby and shall stamp this as received. Bidders are reminded that entry inside the DICT premises is subject to the safety and health protocols in place, and processing of payment for the bidding documents prior to the submission of the actual bid offer may take time. Presence in the DICT premises does not constitute submission on time, which shall refer to the actual handover of the bid proposal to the authorized personnel of the BAC Secretariat. Again, presence in the DICT premises does not constitute submission on time, which shall refer to the actual handover of the bid proposal to the authorized personnel of the BAC Secretariat. Requests for clarifications should be formalized, addressed, and emailed to the BAC Secretariat with the following addresses: bac@dict.gov.ph and bac.secretariat@dict.gov.ph. The deadline for the request for clarification is on September 28, 4 p.m. Copies of supplemental bid bulletins, if any, shall be posted at the PhilJEP's website, the DICT website, and bulletin board at the DICT lab. Common causes of ineligibility and disqualification. Invalid PhilJEP certification and underlying supporting documents pursuant to Section 20.2.9.1 of the IRR of RA 12009. All Class A eligibility documents indicated in Annex A of the PhilJEP's registration certificate must be current, valid, and updated at the time of bid submission. The failure by the prospective bidder to update the certificate with the current and updated Class A eligibility document shall result in the automatic suspension of the validity of the certificate until such time that all of the expired Class A eligibility document has been updated. Thus, prospective bidders are required to update their PhilJEP's registration certificate prior to the submission of their bids. Failure to attach the required supporting documents for the statement of single largest completed contract similar to the project to be bid, and failure to include all the mandatory provisions. Submission of unsigned documents. Submission of audited financial statement without stamp receipt of the BIR if an AFS was filed and paid through electronic filing and payment system, there is no need for the stamp receipt of the BIR. Instead, bidders must submit their proof of AFS e-submission, that is, BIR's email confirmation receipt of returns documents with its filing reference number or the transaction code. Failure to submit the bid securing declaration in the prescribed format attached in the bidding documents. Take note that the bid securing declaration has an additional mandatory provisions. Failure to submit bid securing declaration in omnibus form statement without a jurat as required in the form provided in the bidding documents pursuant to the latest rules on notarial practices. Failure to indicate compliance in the technical specifications and to attach proof of compliance if applicable. Failure to submit the forms which do not contain all the mandatory provisions. For submission of bids through courier services, bidders are reminded that the courier services service personnel must submit the bid proposal to a personnel of the Back Secretariat Division at the office address provided. Bid submission or proposal left by the courier service personnel at the lobby guard or any other personnel or staff aside from the authorized Back Secretariat personnel will not be considered submitted for purposes of bid opening. The responsibility to ensure that the courier service personnel submits the bid proposal to the authorized Back Secretariat personnel is the sole responsibility of the prospective bidder. Next, we will be presenting the e-procurement video guide for the bidders who will choose to purchase the bidding documents using the e-proc system of the DICT.
Walang volume yung video. Ay, walang audio. Sorry.
Apologies po, we're just fixing po yung audio namin.
Okay.
Accessing the e-procurement website. Open any web browser and go the https://eprocurement.dict.gov.ph. Click the Sign Up button. Provide a valid email address. Create a password with at least 8 alphanumeric characters, 1 uppercase, a number, and a symbol. Repeat your password for confirmation. Tick the checkbox to agree to the terms and conditions, and click Create Account button. Open the email account that you provided during registration, check your inbox, and verify your account by following the instructions in the email. Click Activate Your Account button. Go back to the e-procurement system and enter your registered email address and password. Click Login button, and you will be redirected to the onboarding page. Input your personal information and click Next button. Input your company information and click Next button. Review the information you provided and click Confirm button. Once onboarded, you will be redirected to the homepage/dashboard. Select the procurement project you wish to participate in by clicking the View Complete Details button. Select the lot you wish to participate and click Participate in Bidding button. A confirmation modal will appear. Review the details, click the Confirm button, and you will be redirected to the payment window. Select your preferred payment method from the list and click Pay Now button. Print and save the receipt as proof of payment and for reference. You may also check your email to view your receipt. Click the Go Back to Merchant button. you will be redirected to the My Transactions page, where a list of your transactions will be displayed.
That's all po for the presentation of the BAC Secretariat. Mr. Chair, the next presentation po is technical specifications, but we have a proposal po. Considering that the bidding document was posted on the PhilJeps and the ACT website, we would like to confirm if all the prospective bidders have scrutinized the bidding documents. If so po, Mr. Chair, to the members of the BAC, we would like to would you like to dispense with the reading of the technical specifications of the project po?
With the permission of the good chair, to our prospective bidders, have you all scrutinized the postings of the TOR in the relevant platforms? Para diretso na tayo sa mga tanong. Going once, going twice, so we can head straight to the questions on the postings made. So, Mr. Chair, if I may, I move to dispense with the reading of the TOR and related documents and head straight to the queries of our prospective bidders. I so move, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Agree and second, Mr. Chair.
Okay, moved and seconded. No objections. Hearing none, so let's just dispense the reading of the technical specifications and proceed to the queries of our prospective bidders. Thank you.
Thank you so much po. But before we proceed to the clarifications of the prospective bidders, may we request observing the following reminders before raising your clarifications. First is to please raise your hand before asking a question and wait for the BAC Secretariat to acknowledge you. Once acknowledged, kindly state your name and the company you represent. Next, mention the item number you're referring to for easier identification. And last, make sure your background is clear and free from noise or distractions. You may now ask your clarification. Thank you. Yes po, Mr. Stephen Gabay, you are acknowledged.
Stephen Gabay po from Neotech. A clarification lang po dun sa Annex E, Bill of Materials, page 66. Number 4, support facilities. Item 4.4. Item 4.3. That one po. Since meron na pong option for retrofitting, so magbabago din po ba yan?
We request the response po of the end user, please.
Yes, sir. Nung last time, binago na po natin to through SBB number 2. So, magiging replacement or retrofitting na po yung monopole natin.
Okay, sir. Thank you po.
Any more questions po from our prospective bidders? Yes po, Ms. Diane Gallo, you're acknowledged po. Ms. Gallo, you are acknowledged, ma'am.
Sorry po. This is Diane from Neotech po. Sorry po. Clarification lang po, ma'am. For page 69, required forms. Nakalagay kasi dito, ma'am, is we are going to require to use RA 12009. Pero sa bid documents po kasi, ma'am, is ang nakalagay is RA 1984. Yung template po na pre-provide nyo. RA 1984 po. Ano po yung gagamitin na, ma'am? Template. Training ba ako?
Yes, hello po, Miss Gallo. Hello po. To answer your query po, we will be using the RA 12009 na po and its IRR.
Sorry, ma'am. Pwede pong pakiulit. Nagka-problem lang po sa audio.
We will be using the RA 12009 and its IRR na po.
Okay, copy, ma'am. Thank you po.
Kung ano po yung posted na if may discrepancy po, RA 12009 po.
Copy po, RA 12009.
Any more clarifications po? I think, Mr. Chair, wala na pong tanong from our prospective bidders. We'll present na po yung final reminders.
Okay. If there are no more questions, we can proceed. BACSEC, thank you.
For our final reminders, requests for clarifications should be formalized, addressed, and emailed to the following BAC Secretariat email addresses: bac@act.gov.ph and bac.secretariat@act.gov.ph. Deadline for the request for clarification is on September 28, 2025 at 4 p.m. and copies of supplemental bid bulletins, if any, shall be posted at the PhilJEP's website and the ACT website and bulletin board at the ACT lobby.
Shirley, pakibalik doon sa slide ng deadline. To our prospective bidders, please keep the deadline in mind always. Yung mga comments na binigay natin verbally dito, requests for clarification, you can substantiate it further and email a complete thought sa ating BAC Secretariat with the deadline in mind. Marami na po kasing mga requests for clarification na sinisend after the deadline. We have no choice. We are tied by the law hindi na pwedeng tanggapin yun at ma-consider unless it's for very drastic queries affecting the essence of the procurement item. Pero apart from that, please do submit before the deadline set to our prospective bidders. Maraming salamat po sa lahat. With the permission of the good chair. Salamat po, Mr. Chair. Shirley, please continue.
I would like to remind lang po that all clarifications will be reflected in the SBB that will be issued by the BAC Secretariat. We have no matters to discuss for this agenda, for this project. You may now conclude this meeting and we can now proceed po sa second agenda.
Okay, to our prospective bidders, any other clarificatory questions, you can compose yourself and draft the appropriate email and send it to us. So, BACSEC, we can have our prospective bidders exit the Google Hangouts meeting para sa ating second agenda. With the permission of the good chair, salamat po ulit sa ating prospective bidders and we hope to hear from you before the deadline para sa clarificatory questions. Salamat po. Turn off the screen muna. Hindi pa naka-exit lahat yan. Daxek, let us know kapag wala ng prospective bidders from the first agenda. Ha?
Mr. Chair, to the members of the BAC, we can now proceed po sa ating second agenda. Apologies po, we are waiting po pala for the representative from Academic Paradigm.
Surely okay na. Yung mga attendees ngayon ay puro for the second agenda na. Wala nang natira from the first agenda.
Yes po, Attorney Morsha. Naantay lang po natin yung representative from Academic Paradigm.
Okay, sige.